Hello, world. Welcome to the first episode of the Heart of Sports. I am your host, Michael Hart. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about myself. I'm going to talk a little bit about the reason I'm starting this channel. It's For me, it's been long overdue. I've been uh, interested in making a channel for a while now, pretty much since the pandemic. And, I've pretty much watch other people's channels and uh, admired different platforms and personalities and all different kinds of channels for the better part of the last 3 or 4 years. And it's a new year. And I finally decided that this is the time for me to go ahead and uh, create and start something new. Like I said, I've been wanting to do it for a long time. And I guess what propelled me to start today was actually uh, just looking at different people's content and um, kind of, I won't say disturbed by it, but just like it kind of made me feel a way, if that makes sense. I'm going to explain it a little bit more. But I follow a various amount of content creators across the YouTube platform. And lately, I just been running into a lot of creators that have been uh, either A, biting off of somebody else's style, B, um, spewing bad information, uh, C, just putting any video out there just to get some clicks. And that's just not what I'm about. Um, that's not why I'm starting the channel. That's not why um, I want to do this at all. I actually want to do this because I feel like, for one, most importantly, I know what I'm talking about. And if I don't know what I'm talking about, then I won't say it. Okay? I'm not going to get up here and just spew information or just read a bunch of headlines and try to make a video just to get views or whatever these people out here are doing. Like, I'm not I'm not okay with that. Well, I want to be able to bring value to the community, bring value to the people who listening to me. I don't want to be. I want to be known as a channel that is clickbait free, and the people who do end up watching me or liking my content are gonna always know that they can go look at my videos and gain some information, gain something valuable, learn something for the day, anything. I don't know, but not just I'm just out here trying to get clicks and views and X, Y, and Z. I intend to grow my channel, of course. I intend to, get as many views as possible, just like anybody else, but not off the backs of spewing misinformation or creating bad content or clickbaiting people into watching my videos or any of that. Like, I want to grow this organically. I want people to enjoy my content, love this space, come here and enjoy what they're gonna get when they watch my channel. So that's ultimately why um, today was my starting day. Um, just a little bit of background information about me. Um, I played sports pretty much my whole life. I started playing baseball first. That was my first sport I played. When I was 4 or maybe 5 years old, I started playing Little League Baseball. And I played all the way up until I was 12 or 13 years old. And I decided not to play baseball anymore. quick story about that. So I was always good in baseball. Um, when I was about 8 or 9, maybe 10 years old, I became an all star in my little league. I was an all star pretty much from then until I quit playing for 3 or 4 years. But the reason I stopped playing actually was um, I was in my last All Star game, and I was up batting, and we were playing a pretty good team, another All Star team, obviously. Um, and I was at batting. I was a good hitter. Um, and the crazy part about it was like, I don't know if y'all know, but like when you get 12 or 13 years old and your body starts developing, changing, and long story short, boys go from boys to men around this age, pretty much. It begins. For some, it doesn't develop; it happens later. But for the most part, generally speaking, from around that 12, 13, 14-year old range, that's when boys become men. So I'm at the plate batting, and they had this pitcher, man, and the first pitch he threw was straight gas, like heat, flying. I think he threw it so fast. I'm not even sure I swung the first pitch he threw. He threw so fast. But so I'm sitting here thinking I pitched too. I was a pitcher on defense, and I played a variety of positions. My uh, main positions was pitcher, shortstop, and I mean I played a little bit of anywhere in the infield. I played outfield some too, but as I grew older, I played mostly infield, and I played mostly um, shortstop and pitch. But like I said, so I'm at bat, and he's throwing straight gas, straight heat, and I think I swung the second pitch, and I whiffed completely whiffed. And this guy actually was throwing so hard at this age we was at that the catcher was literally like taking his glove off after every pitch, like it was coming in that hot. So long story short, I struck out, and like I say, I was a good hitter. Now I wasn't no slouch now either. Now people who came to my games, people who watch me play, they'll tell you that like I was a good baseball player. I knew I was a good baseball player, but and I loved playing baseball at the time. But that moment right there let me know like, man, if I don't really get on this, really get into this, and I was for the most part I was into it. I was going to uh, all the clinics and had special trainers and coaches and all that to work on my batting, my pitching, um, all that. So I was on my way, but that moment right there set me and let me know like, okay, if you're not gonna take this 100% or go all in on this, it's not gonna be for you because the talent is catching up. The talent is moving faster than uh, I'm moving pretty much right now. So, but as the story continues, like I said, meanwhile, I was also a basketball player. I was a really good basketball player, and that's really where my love was at too. So that's also why I couldn't really focus too much on baseball because at that point in time, I was really loving basketball. I really wanted. I always loved basketball. I played from the same age, around 5 years old, up until I played both off and on baseball, basketball, in between, back and forth between both, and I did that up, like I said, up until I was about 13 years old. Then I stopped playing baseball, and I transitioned to strictly basketball. Focused all my talents on basketball. I ended up playing varsity basketball, high school. Um, I went to college. I got a scholarship for um, to what was an NAIA school. It became Division III school in Pennsylvania. Um, Small school in Pennsylvania Went up there, played 1 year. Didn't like the school, whatsoever, um, for a multitude of reasons. Didn't really get along with my coaches, and shout out to them. They were big time successful. We played in the league. We were the number one team in our conference. We would have been ranked in the nation had they still been ranking at that time. Because we only lost 3 games. I think we were 20-3 my freshman year, and so yeah, we would have been ranked had they still been ranked in Division 3 at the time. But yeah, I didn't really get along with my coaches. Long story with that. Well, not really a long story, but just typical recruiting stuff. I don't feel like they told me the whole story when they recruited me. I don't really feel like they had my best interest at heart. They were just recruiting, and it happens. That's just what the nature of sports in general. But so anyway, after my freshman year, I decided to go back home. I'm from North Carolina, so go back home. Decided to just be a student, and that's what I did. Uh, anyway, so that's my background in athletics. Now, uh, as for the channel, so this channel is not going to be about baseball or basketball for the most part. Even though I follow basketball relatively close professionally, I haven't followed it super close as of late. I followed it when I was younger for sure. Kept up with all the college conferences. ACC basketball followed heavy. The SEC, Pac-12, you name it, all the big time college basketball programs. Followed them. Like I said, NBA followed them. But as of late, I'm a little kind of uninterested in the game as far as, especially the pro league, the NBA league, because I just feel like the game is just so watered down now. Um, I don't necessarily think the talent is watered down. I think the athletes are getting better and better each year. But I think the way the new rules in the game, stopping the game, to look at the replays, um, all the things outside of the game that just kind of water the game down, if that makes any sense. So it's kind of up and down for me with that. I follow it a lot more closer in the playoffs and stuff like that when games really matter. And shout out to the play-in tournament this year, because I feel like that was a big plus for the NBA, how they included that this year, because uh, it just gives more meaning to the games early in the season when normally uh, players will sit out or not play as hard, basically. So I shout out to them for that. That was a great idea for that as well. Now, like I said, back to the channel. So this channel actually is going to be majority about all things football related. Why football? So back when I was back in my baseball days, uh, early basketball days, um, I wanted to play football really bad. I was always interested in the game. Um, when I got to high school, I always kept up with my high school teams, who was playing. A lot of my friends, like I said, I played basketball. I had a lot of friends though that played on the football team, so I was close with them. I was keeping up with the games, going to the games. Friday nights went to all the football games, um, etc. But I always wanted to play, but my dad would never let me play. Why would he not let me play? Because he played football actually growing up, and they actually his team won a state championship in high school in Connecticut, but that's neither here nor there. But he didn't let me play because I was a basketball player. What does that mean? Well, basketball season is always right after football season. So he didn't want me to get injured, ruin my chances in my basketball career. So I just never played. And at the time, I wasn't super. I just had a thought I wanted to play, or I just had a interest in playing. It wasn't a super strong interest like I have today in the game, if that makes sense. So had I had the same interest I have now, just in the game in general, I probably would have maybe convinced him to play. But I was so big into baseball and basketball that it never really crossed my mind to like, yo, I really should probably play because I'm probably not gonna make it in basketball. But my love for basketball was so good that I was like, shoot, I might as well just ride this out. And when you're so young, you just automatically assume, yeah, I'm gonna be the one to make it. I know I'm good, and I was good. Don't get me wrong. I feel like I could have went a lot farther in my career, knowing, of course, knowing the things I know now, and making better career decisions when I was younger, which at the time I didn't know. My parents didn't know, so you end up where you get. So, but like I said, as far as the football would have went, I would have probably convinced my parents to play, and I probably could have had a pretty decent career because, in basketball it's a really height dependent sport, and I'm not short by any means. I'm 5'11", but 6 foot on the roster. I always put 6 foot on the roster, but that's and I play point guard, so that's a decent height, but it's not a NBA standard. It's not 6'2", 6'3", and that's pretty much minimum for NBA size players. But you turn over and look at football players, 5'11", 6 foot, 6'1". You're right in there in range for wide receiver, quarterback, skill positions, etc. So I probably would have been had a lot more chance to be successful if I had went that route. Just from a height, weight, athletic standpoint. But one more story about the football. So when I was about 12 years old, I I was still playing baseball at the time, and the football team was sharing our field. The league we played in, we had the football team would play on the other side of the field. We had a couple fields actually, but this field we was at, the older kids, we practiced on this field, and it was so big that you could have football practice on the opposite side of the field. So they would come and have football practice towards the end of our practice, our baseball practice, and like I said, I was standing out in baseball, and the coach, one of the coaches for the football team, had saw me throw a baseball, and I guess that caught his eye so bad that he wanted me to come try to play quarterback for the football team. And I don't know if I told my parents or they overheard or whatever, but they ended up knowing that they wanted me to play too. But like I said, my dad would never let me play. Um, so fast forward towards my later years, I always threw the football around with, like I said, my friends. We play outside, whatever, just regular things. And I really could throw a football. Like even still now, I can throw a football far accurate, um, whatever. So I know, had I been in the system and get coaching and all that, I probably could have really took off in football for sure. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, long story short, like I said, I watch basketball, I watch football. I'm big into keeping up, like overly keeping up with what's going on in the community. Um, so yeah, that's that. But this channel, So this channel will be about all things football related. When I mean all things football, what I mean is, uh, NFL. I'm going to keep up with current things going on in the NFL, players, teams, uh, news around the league sometimes. College football is big for me right now. I kind of been in and out of the college football, so I've been getting into it lately. Um, Big topic for me right now is, a lot of people are doing this, but I'm not really trying to ride the wave, but it does interest me. I'll do all things that really interest me. And the Colorado situation does interest me right now. For more than, the bare minimum reasons. It interests me for one because obviously Coach Prime, you know, Hall of Fame player. Uh, Even more to that, one of the greatest football players of all time, greatest football personalities of all time, all of that. So, you know, he's bringing a lot of attention to Colorado. I've been following the Colorado YouTube space maybe the past month or so. Right now, they got a lot of interesting things going, to say the least. Um, Shout out to all the creators, but and even high school. We're gonna be reacting a little bit to a lot of the films that I see, the players that I see coming out, and I guess that'll bring me to the topic I want to talk about today. My first topic on the channel, which will be high school recruiting service.